I want to go to Burger King and be like, Burger King, build me and make me a king. Be like, yo, this is the so-and-so king meal. And you're like, that would be legit.
The Matt Whopper.
Dude, I would say like the Floyd. I was about to say Big Mac, but that was McDonald's.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome all the way from Portland, Oregon, PDX. We have the NOFOLD podcast, your PogChamp podcast. And I am joined today by none other than Matt Floyd.
Welcome. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Today, we got a good show ahead of us. I feel like we talked for like the last 30 minutes before we filmed any of this. You might see some deleted scenes in the future, but good stuff. But like, I want to know, what was your weekend like?
Well, my weekend, hi, I'm Ezekiel Sutton, forgot to mention my name, go follow me on YouTube. My weekend was pretty eventful. I was actually 1,400 miles away.
Yes.
Or actually, sorry, 700, found that out, that, 700 times 2 is a round trip. So I was out in Utah for a wedding.
Egypt.
Bro, straight up, I was on the East Coast.
Yes.
But I was out in Utah for a wedding, so I was setting that up and dude, it was hot.
I was about to say,
it was just dry.
Like dry hot, but were you like dripping sweat like all over, or were you just like...
It was like right when it got super hot, it was nighttime. So then it was just like the Utah cold came over.
And then you were like freezing and you're like, I need a hoodie, or was it just cool enough?
It was cool. It was cool enough. It was like
cool
a good
enough.
type of cool.
Where in Salt Lake City?
In it was higher up, basically right on the edge of Idaho, right on the border.
Oh, okay.
But dude, literally, we had these super nice umbrellas, crank umbrellas.
Oh,
and there was 4
beachfront
huge
ones.
umbrellas over the chairs. And as right before the ceremony started, everyone went and grabbed every other umbrella around the reception area. So, and then they just staked them in. And then there was just 2 people on each side of the ceremony on the chairs just holding umbrellas for the length of the ceremony because of how hot it was.
That's insane. That's some dedication right there.
Dude,
I couldn't. Oof.
It was.
Ugh.
And then at the start of the ceremony, I sat on a water bottle by accident. They were like, yo, you want waters? And then I took a swig. And then I was like, oh, I probably shouldn't be holding this while we're standing for the bride, So I sat on my chair.
It's kind of rude.
And then just,
then you
ow.
pissed yourself. Everyone's like, dude, that guy pissed himself.
Yeah. But thankfully I was next to my grandparents. So they were already just causing a ruckus as it was.
So they pissed themselves too. And you guys all blended in because you're like,
dude,
oh, yeah.
We were just all causing a ruckus at the same time. And it was overall a solid trip. Yeah. Definitely probably would go to a wedding again. Probably will go to a wedding again because there's so many family members.
Everyone. Especially it was Mormon, right? So it's they're just
Bro, it's not Mormon anymore. It's members of the Jesus Christ Church of the Latter-day Saints.
Of the Latter-day Saints.
They don't like being called Mormon anymore because
really?
It's funny.
Oh, they don't do they take offense to that even though it's their religion?
Not yeah, even though it's their religion, but it's they just don't like being called that anymore. They don't. It's so funny because everyone's so.
It's because of South
each other
Park.
Mormons, but I think it's just because of the weird. I think it is because of South Park.
I think it's because of South Park.
But it's because of
they
South Park, the Book of Mormon,
so much.
The Book of Mormon, the Broadway show, all those things. Mormon just has a bad tie to it, but at the same time, so does Jesus Christ Church of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah, I was gonna say that whole long name. They're halfway through, they're like, shh. I don't need it. I'm a part of the Church's Latter. That's too much. I just want one word.
Listen
one
here,
word,
Ariel.
easy.
I don't care about your mermaid religion or whatever. Okay,
bro. Well, I'm glad you had a good weekend. I knew you were traveling, so I was like, man, I can't remember what I did. Oh, Pride Month was this month, and I did a
Pride Month's still this month when this podcast comes out.
Technically, yeah, it is. It is still June. Yeah, I worked for Burgerville to do a Pride festival shoot, and it was actually really fun. I got to see a couple of drags. That was really awesome. They were able to go up on stage, perform. It was a good performance. It was a lot of fun, and I was like, I didn't know what to expect. It was my first ever going to a Pride event, and it was actually a lot of fun. I could see why people are like, yo, this is really cool. Coming where I come from in the South, it was just or I told my brothers and they're like, wait, what? You hung out with drags? I was like, yeah, like they were at the show, they were like performing, I took pictures, did videos and stuff. There was actually a lot of fun, and I actually like laughed a lot and stuff, and it was a great time. And they're like, oh, cool, like, are you okay? Like, I'm like, yeah.
Dude, they're just straight vibing though.
Yeah, I know.
They're living their best life.
Exactly. And that's where I'm like trying to figure out, like, it's so hard for certain cultures and certain people to like understand, especially here in Portland, because it's just so open, dude. Like, when I tell people of stuff that I see here in Portland, they're like, what? That happened in public? What? Who said what? They did what? And you're like, yeah, that's just like another day. Everywhere else, they're like it's so free here to do whatever you want. Like, especially with like the homeless population and stuff. Granted, it kind of does get a little messy here and there, and you're like, like pick up your box of Eggo waffles, man. I don't want to like step into that every morning and then like my dog try to eat one of those, and it's like pumped full of all these other like drugs and stuff. I'm like, nah.
True, but sometimes it's cool.
Yeah.
Like back at like we go to this church, and like back near like the old location, they have like the homeless battle domes.
Bro,
those are sick, dude. They fight for their homes.
Please elaborate on this, because I don't think people understand this. Like, for us, it's just like, yeah, it was like Battle of the Domes, but for other people, they're like, what the heck is that?
Well, basically, as far as I understand, as far as the narrative, like I like to push in my head as I drive by, is so there used to be 3 parking lots. Now there's only 1 because they converted the other 2 into homeless camps, but there's these giant cylindrical domes that look like they were imported straight from the set of Survivor.
Yeah.
And I swear
another
that,
planet.
At the start of the month, they don't pay rent. They just hop into those battle domes and bare knuckle box, and whoever wins gets a house and all the stuff that was in it from the previous
it's like
month.
Modern day Fight Club over there. It's like, just throw in your money. Here you go. Oh, wait, you won? Okay, cool. You get that little piece of land right over there on that corner of Burnside. You're like, yep, that's mine.
Dude, exactly. Dude,
it is wild. We need to actually go down there and do some interviews with some people, because like we should do like sideline interviews, and they're like, why are you interviewing me? Isn't that's like a boxing
Watch
match?
this, it's just a jungle gym, and like all my story is just like gone. I'm gonna be really upset. Like I'm gonna be sad. First of all, I'll be confused why there's a jungle gym in the middle of like a homeless neighborhood.
Yeah, it's true.
Wait, homeless neighborhood, that's ironic. But
that's so bad.
But yeah.
Bro, there's houses over here. I don't know if people saw it on my TikTok, but I like took some videos around like our apartment complex, and no lie, guys, like there is literally people building like little 2x4s and like walls and stuff on the sidewalk. Like, where you walk every day, there is like someone now saying, yo, this is my home. Walk around, like walk on the street, and they're building like walls, like legit, like plywood, 2x4s, like pinning them together, finding these tools. I don't know from where, because I don't see tools laying around anywhere. So I don't know if they're stealing them or if someone's bringing them to them.
I just want to know where they find the Sharpies.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, ever since I was like a young child, I'm like,
how did they
out
get
of
those
everything you could get, like food, water, shoes,
If
you
you could,
somehow
yeah.
always have a Sharpie.
Yeah.
Like, where do
and
you
it's
get that?
always usable. It's never dried out.
Exactly.
And you know that stuff sits in their back pocket, hot, cold, any type of the day, and they just pull it out, and it's just like butter. You're like
exactly.
What is this?
Like, to just draw these signs. Like, does Sharpie have this like secret underground like homeless market that we don't know about?
I think they go around. They just like
they call it like the black marker et. Like,
that's our new company, the Black Marker.
it's just on the side of the battle dome.
We got a little sponsor. It's like a little Sharpie logo and stuff, and people are just like, take one Sharpie, and they like take 5 of them. They're like, yeah, this shit's good for another 5 years,
dude.
A Sharpie a year.
I don't understand,
bro. Well, anyway, I want to get back to the main topic.
Speaking on non-black markerettes.
Yeah, exactly. We challenge each other this week to come up with 2 different guests that we would want to have on the show. But
speaking of challenges, though, sorry to cut you off. I like doing this.
Yeah, dude.
What really about last week's challenge? I think we did discuss like a little bit of a challenge.
I'm
like pretty sure it was just continue. Oh yeah, it was just like double up. Like,
yeah, and
so,
neither of us did it.
Did you do it? And I didn't either. But I was gone.
Yes, we're doing exactly what we didn't want to happen. Where
Straight
it's
up.
like literally each week. Did you do it? No. Huh? Okay, cool. All right, we'll see you
I
next
gotta
week.
get that. I gotta get that video out, dude. I'm so pumped for it though. At this point,
Oh, I know. And I'm the same with the TikToks now. Like, I'm actually doing stuff that I'm like, oh, like I can actually film with this and stuff. And I have some vertical video that I shot on the cameras that I'm like, oh, I'm gonna like talk about this. I'm gonna showcase this, like with the behind the scenes stuff. I just gotta cut the stuff, dude. And we're just so busy. Like, I don't think I'm
that
the same
wedding,
people.
bro. There was 15 people in that house. I was terrified to take anything out. We kept everything in the car the whole time except for the bare necessities.
And
I
these
took out a blender bottle.
But these are
gone.
family, dude.
Yeah, but it's family, 15 people, and they all just go, that's probably mine.
Oh my god,
And then
dude, that would
just-
drive me nuts if people just started taking stuff.
Dude, I had a blender bottle. I had one. I put in like my mixture powder stuff, drank the whole thing, washed it out because no one else was going to do it, set it down, like left,
Someone's
came
like,
back.
yo, that's
it was
a new dish.
gone. I'm not even kidding you. I searched the house for the next 2 days. Could not find it.
You're like checking.
So I was like, there is no way I'm
looking
going
in
to
the
sit down and
dishwasher.
edit a video. There's no way I'm going to do this because someone's just going to come up and be like, yo, I need to search the internet. That computer's mine now. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, bro, that's wild. I couldn't do that. If dude, we had my brother one time took something from me, and it was like it was a PlayStation 2 controller. And we don't usually grab stuff from each other and just like take it and be like, that's mine. Like, no, we didn't do that since like we were like 5. Like, ever since then, no. This was like high school, and my brother was like, yo, it's my turn to play. And I'm like, no, it's not. Like, sit your ass down. Like, it ain't gonna happen. He literally comes over and yanks the controller out of my hand. He's like, my turn. Sits down like we're in like we're back at 5 years old. And I literally looked at him and I was like, you didn't just do that to me. He goes, yeah, I did. What are you gonna do about it? As soon as he said, what are you gonna do about it? Boom, right to the face. I mean, dude, like it was like almost like a gut reaction, like a robot. Like, you ever seen iRobot? And they're like, as soon as they turn red, it's just like kill. Like, that's exactly what happened to me. I was like, oh, super cool. We're having a conversation. As soon as he said like that word, it just snapped, and I was like, poof. And he's like, whoa, like he didn't expect that because I'm not like violent, and I was so mad that he just like took something from me. So like if someone were to do that, even if like it was a distant family member, I would literally just be like, lights out, and give me that back, and then I just sit down and keep doing it.
Dude, I feel that. I used to do that with my cousins all the time.
The little cousins. I feel bad for all you little cousins out there. I feel bad for you because I'm the oldest of all my cousins, and I know that shit was annoying when they were like, they'd come up and they'd be like, yeah, can I come hang out with you guys? Yeah, come on. And you're like, no. You're not old enough yet. You're not cool enough yet. And they're like, come on. I just want to go ride with you guys. Or I want to go to the mall with you guys. And you're like, no, you're going to cramp my style. And now they're like the Gen Zers. And they're like, yo, you're crimping my style. Get the hell out of here. And you're like, bro, like, I'm buying you food. And he's like, nah, man, I don't need that. I got TikTok. Like, that's exactly what's going to happen.
But like Segway, though, what a brand. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
And just
100%.
segueing into wherever we were going with this podcast.
Bro, you literally, this is why I don't like to be interrupted. Because
Okay.
I was on a really good roll. I was literally giving the people the guess.
You were?
Yeah.
You're giving them the Wham Bam Matt Floyd special with
But
fries.
With fries. Yo, we need to have our own meals. That's what I was talking about. Someone with, I was talking to one of my friends about, and he was like, yo, I don't think I made it in life until I have my own meal. And I was like, yo, like Travis Scott meal. And he's like, yeah, like I want to go to Burger King and be like, Burger King, build me and make me a king. Be like, yo, this is the so-and-so king meal. And you're like, that would be legit.
the Matt Whopper.
Dude, I would say like the Floyd. I was about to say Big Mac, but that was McDonald's. So I'm like, I'm glad I stopped that because I was like, nah.
But speaking
that.
on interesting collaborations.
Yes, on interesting collaborations, we had 2 different guests that we both come up with that we want to have on the podcast. And they're 2 different people in the aspect of one that's like, we feel like we kind of know, and we're going to build out this whole universe for, and like how they would be on the show and everything. And then we have another one that's just like a completely random guest that they're actually he has no idea. I have no idea what he has for me. So we're going to have some fun. I'm going to have you go ahead and start. Give me
I'm going to start?
Yes. You're going to give me your guest that we're familiar with, or you think I'm familiar with, and then I'm going to build it, and then I'm going to give you the guest that I think we're familiar with, and vice versa.
Interesting. Okay.
Unless you want to go the other way. Do you want to go the other way, and I give you one, and then you just run with it?
I can go first.
Okay.
I can give you my guess first.
Okay. Go for it.
So, I know you know this creator, someone who I look up to once every other video because sometimes their videos are an absolute drug trip. I want to hear your thoughts on what you would do to get Eric to collaborate with NOFOLD.
Okay, Eric. That dude is insane and really talented. I think what I would do...
For the people that don't know...
Yes, go ahead and give a background of Eric.
As quickly as possible. Eric is a YouTuber who started in early 2020 or actually at the start of 2020.
Yeah.
And he had the goal of getting 1 million subscribers to prove that being a creator in 2020 or for the future is possible. He pulled it off by the skin and bones of his teeth. And now he's just grinding out content at a scale that just was unimaginable when he started a year ago. And now he's at about 1.5 million subscribers. He's turning his entire business into a brand, he does like this like creator course thing where it's like basically like a sprint, which is like it's happening, like there's one coming up in July. He does merch. He's really like, he had a plan from the very beginning to make a whole ecosystem, a whole world of Eric and not just Eric Decker. So I'm curious of what you would do to get us in an integration that isn't just like him going like, yeah, I'm so glad I got to do that.
Yeah. I think for Eric, it would be something that is bold and crazy like he is. So our name, like NOFOLD, already like is a hands down winner in that essence of like, oh yeah, we're gonna take a risk. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna see what happens. So like I normally don't do this, but we would have to create some crazy freaking stunt that we'd only pull off here in Portland.
Give me a stunt.
So like, I really want to do the naked bicycle ride. Bro, I think, or like where they just wear like boxers and stuff, I think he would be so down to do something like that, but like have like hundreds of like thousands of people. Like we put out like something that says like, hey, on this day, because like every year it happens, but like not a lot of people know. Like I remember when I first heard about it, I was like, that ain't real. And then I literally was like walking downtown one day, no posters, no social media posts about it, nothing. I just see people riding literally butt ass naked. You're like, did anyone else see that? Like, and everyone else was just like, oh yeah, and like waving and laughing and stuff. People are like in their underwear and stuff. I was like, that's funny. Like that's awesome. And like only in Portland can you pull this off. So we would use that to our advantage, knowing that we can't do this in any other city. So we'd be like, yo, we want you to be on our podcast, but we want to do this podcast on the road or right after this event. And he's gonna be like, yo, what event? What are you talking about? I'm like, yo, the naked bicycle ride. And he's like, nah. I'm like, yeah. You don't have to be completely naked. You like have boxers on, but we're gonna do it. And what's gonna be big is we can get like over 1,000 people to do it. Cause that is like, I've only seen groups of like 20, 30, maybe 100 in the last like 3 years. So I'm like, okay, cool.
So you would like leverage his like whole thing about him having like the mafia, just being like, hey, mafia's strong.
Exactly. I'd be like, yo,
mafia leaders gotta be there.
Exactly. And so I'm like, yo, it's same like it's blah, 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 yeah, but yeah, no,
Audio
it's
was
very
so
similar.
sorry.
It's very similar to the Noke Boys. And having their brand so strong that literally they could be anywhere and doing anything. And there's going to be like a presence unlike any other when they walk into the room and people erupt. So I'm like, yo, I think he's going to get there. I think he's the next wave of like the big creators. He's on his way already. So like I challenge him to like the NOFOLD way of like, okay, cool, bet you're big, right? All right, cool. Use that just for 1,000 people, not like $100,000. We're not doing some crazy, like whatever money we raise, cool, we can donate it. Like I don't even want it. And you're like, oh, cool. All right, let's do it. So like that's the kind of event I would do, is something that's just like off the wall. I don't know if you could throw it up on YouTube. You could definitely censor it, so that'd be funny, like to have people riding and stuff, and we could do like interviews while we're riding and stuff, like have like little lapel mics or like little handheld mics that we can like tape to the bit bike and just like magnetize and like use it and stuff.
Yeah,
I think that
just,
would
like, play off the idea of like a naked bike ride, like something where it's like underwear or something, like
that's what I'm saying. You can like most people I remember riding weren't completely naked, because
like
that would be
Speedos and bikini bike ride.
Yeah, like it's so, bro. Could you imagine riding a bike naked? That would be so painful. That'd be so uncomfortable.
That would.
So like I don't know why people want to do it, but they call it that because, bro, there's a name for that. Naked bicycle ride. People are gonna be like, yo, cool, I'll come from wherever to go do that. Reality is not all of them are naked. Most of them are just wearing like their underwear and stuff. Like that's about it. So it's like, all right, cool, let's do that. So I think that would be fun. And I think that would be definitely something that would be huge for YouTube, because I haven't seen any videos like that. Like granted, like I said, we'd have to like blur stuff out and stuff, hopefully not get demonetized. I don't think we would, because we'd be censoring everything, but it'd be so fun. And I think that'd be a great time. So that's my challenge to Eric. If you're watching this, if you want to try that, cool, I'm down. Like, let's plan it out. I don't have a PR team. You probably have a PR team, so you're probably just going to have to reach out to me or Zeke, but we'll make it happen. So that's mine.
Well, I mean, doesn't that mean for our brand, though, we have to, like, strip down before that, so it's already established to our audience that that's just what we do?
Yeah. Well, it's Portland.
Sick. We'll have to, like, sumo wrestle or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're going to have to do something wild, but, like, we'll tee up to something like that. But for him to come out and just be able to, like, do his other challenges, they're great. But, like, have you done a naked bicycle ride? Have you done, like you said, a bikinis and a Speedo bicycle ride? Nope. Have you done it through a city in downtown? Not out in the country, not where everyone else doesn't see you, like literally middle of downtown, like grandma, kids, families, teenagers, college kids, everyone. Just like, yep, it is what it is. That would be so funny. And I think it would be great to like do kind of like realistic interviews with someone while riding a bike, but they're literally just wearing like boxers or just like bikinis and stuff. And I think it would be so funny to be like, yeah. So what do you think about last year's election? Just like, hold it out, like right? Yeah, well, it's like
cold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm not, but like, are you though?
Yeah, you look like you're kind of cold. Could you pull that off? Like that. I think that would be so much fun. And I've wanted to do it anyways, just to say I did it. So like, I think that'd be another thing that they could just like knock off in the book of like bucket list stuff. Is like, yo, I did a like naked bicycle ride, even though we weren't all naked, but that's what we called it. So that's what I'm saying.
Interesting.
I think that'd be fun.
I did not expect that.
Really?
But also, it's
what did you
Floyd.
expect?
So, I mean, I didn't expect anything. Honestly, I was just like, how would you get him on? I'm curious. I just did not expect naked bike ride to be the first thing that came to your mind.
All right, so I'm gonna do it a little bit different. I'm gonna give you this name, and I'm just gonna let you run with it.
I was gonna say someone who I like watched like 5 years ago, like Ryan's Toy Review.
No. This is recent. David Dobrik.
Oh God. Oh God.
I wanted to see how he would handle this.
I thought I was giving you an easy one. Yeah. I thought we were gonna. I was like, who should I pick for Matt Floyd? Didn't know he was coming out with a controversy, Mister. We don't want this to be a drama podcast.
I don't think it's drama. I think that's what I'm saying. The new, like David Dobrik, who he is, just as a person.
David Dobrik. Oh, that's tough. Not because of like all the controversy. Like I feel like we're NOFOLD. Like our brand is just very like we're putting all our chips in one basket. Like if we fail, we can just go to a different table.
That's true. We're in Vegas. It's like, yeah, you want to go to craps? We're like, yeah, let's get over here.
Exactly.
Win big over
There's
here.
There's always another slot machine on the NOFOLD podcast.
There's always. We got to get slot machines, dude. 100%.
Oh no. But for David Dobrik, okay, what's the intent? Am I trying to get him like on the podcast?
Yeah, I think if you could get him on the podcast, but like, what would you do to convince him to get on this podcast?
Oh my goodness, that is tough. That is
And you don't have it doesn't have to be the exact right answer, because there's not really a right answer for any of this stuff. It's like the test that the like teachers give you, and they're like, hey, there's no wrong answer, even though there is a wrong answer, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. And
I feel like in order to get David Dobrik on a podcast, you would have to give him like a bit that would get into a vlog for like a month straight. Like you could not miss.
Hey guys, so I'm sponsored by Honey. Honey is
like kind of. But like I feel like you, like, of course you couldn't like go to his house, you couldn't do any of that stuff. That's disrespectful. But like I feel like you would have to almost like know where he is and what he's doing and come with something different every single time. But the only consistent thing is that it's you doing it.
Yeah.
Or, like us being there. So, and then I feel like he's like, whoa, like I've seen you for 3 weeks now and you've done all this stuff. And you're like, yeah, well, we really just want you on our podcast, bro. And then he's like, sure, I guess. Like,
I don't know. Like, has anyone done that before? Have you seen anything in his like postings
I've only seen
anything?
him on one podcast outside of his own.
Really? Who was that?
It was Tom Ward. I don't know how this guy has the connections that he does, but he does like podcasts. He did one with David Dobrik, Cody Ko, Logan Paul, the D'Amelio sisters.
Really?
Yeah, he like has just like
he's got the end.
the pull. Like I don't understand exactly what it is.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, I feel like we would have to do something like that and just like give him like maybe it's just one bit or like 2 bits, like something really high quality where he's like, yo, this is going in my vlog, and then we're just like, hey, can you pay us back by letting us film a podcast with you in your studio? Thanks.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Fundraising sponsor.
And I feel like with where his like brand is going, like we'll just have to like avoid the controversy. Maybe it'd be funny. We partner with like Blue Chew, right?
Yeah.
And we go and we like fill a pool with Blue Chew. And then we just like show up in a pickup truck filled with Blue Chew. And then like we just like make like Jonah jump in it.
Doesn't he have his own restaurant now?
He does.
I saw that on one of the, was it the podcast or was it the vlog?
It's the vlog.
Yeah, it was a vlog. Oh my God.
Jonah's Kebabs or something.
Oh my God. Yes, dude. I like that approach. I think that'd be like a legit way to do it. Cause like he's seen so much. It's like Logan Paul. Like how are you going to be like, oh cool. Like impress me. And you're like, well, how do I impress someone that's literally done some of the craziest stuff out there?
Like, you know, like how like, again, kind of going back to Eric, how like he'll do these like crazy things that just like stop the world for a second.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's what like you'd have to do in order to get like David Dobrik to take the time to go see whatever you were doing.
Yeah.
Like you can't just like ride horses in the middle of the highway. You can't just like tow a...
Well, you'd probably get arrested.
Exactly. You can't like tow a trampoline or anything while jumping on it. You know, like you have to like legitimately like do something insane where he has to like stop everything he's doing because he knows that would be good vlog content.
Blue Chew. You heard that. We got an idea for you.
Blue Chew. If you hear that, we're still going to figure out a way to get David Dobrik on Krinikop's OnlyFans. So,
yes.
Partner with us.
We'll make it happen somehow, some way. No, I think that's, I really like that. I like that approach. And it'd have to be something super, like you said, consistent, that it's almost like only he would know, or like maybe one of his like assistants would know at the time and be like, yeah, these guys just keep showing up, but they don't do anything. They don't damage anything. They're just like, they give us stuff, and it's just like this, and it's like a box one day, and then it's like another thing, and then it's like a stuffed bear, then it's like all these things, but each of those things have like something else in them that's like curious and like sparks his interest. And he's like, yo, they're really thinking outside the box. Like they're not trying to do no harm or anything, but they're trying to get my attention. You got my attention. What do you want? One of those days he's going to be out there, and that's when you're like, yo, we want to just have you on a podcast that we do. And
Yeah.
you'll be like, okay.
In your house.
Yeah.
On your set.
Yeah. we borrow your set. That's the NOFOLD way. It's like, yo, they're like, yo, what, you gonna fly me out? You're like, yeah. No, we're actually gonna do it in your house. And you're like, oh, and you literally
We
like
flew ourselves out
like
to your house.
literally
David.
knowing you have the backpack on with all the podcast gear, and you're like, yeah, we're right here.
No, I just have three SD cards. I'd be like, listen, you got the gear, you got everything, you can sit in your chair. I get it, but like,
Yeah.
it's our podcast now.
Yeah, exactly.
We just take a little paper,
taking over.
paper sign, just put it over everything, views branded.
NOFOLD. It's just like on college notebook paper in Sharpie from the homeless guy that never runs out of Sharpies. You're like, what? How is this possible? That's the mega thing. All right, cool. No, I like that. What's your random?
Oh, my random. You know,
What's your random?
as we were spitballing David Dobrik, I had an idea for one guy, but then I don't know. We're kind of on this like up and up of, I don't know, interesting. So
Yeah.
I want to see, which I might have to help you, not really, but what would you do to get Ninja to collaborate with NOFOLD?
That's a tough one because you know I don't do a lot of gaming, so that's.
But neither did Ninja's kind of branching out.
Yeah,
dude.
he's kind of branching out. To be quite frank, I have not watched a lot of his content in the last year because I thought he just fell off the face of the earth. He just kind of like was cool and you're like, oh yeah, Ninja, blue hair, and then that was about it. Like I remember the whole Fortnite thing. That was like, oh
Yeah.
cool.
Well, I mean, now he's like transitioning.
Yeah.
Dude. Like I feel like with him,
Has he made a food yet?
like, no, not yet. No Ninja Pops yet, bro.
Bro,
They're coming at some point.
We said that,
We
right?
did.
Yeah,
we did.
okay.
So
Ninja, if you're
steal
listening,
that, we're coming for your throat.
Yeah. If we see Ninja Pops in a Fred Meyer or Safeway aisle, you know what's happening.
I think it'd probably be at
ready.
Walmart, but yeah.
Bro, Walmart, yeah.
But I feel like Ninja at this point is trying to become like an actual like big time celebrity outside of gaming. So I feel like he'd kind of be down for whatever.
Yeah,
So what's your idea to get him to collaborate with us? So it'd be more of like how like what part of our universe would Ninja fit in? Not even the best, but almost like it'd be funny if Ninja did that with us.
That's tough. I have to think about that for a second. It's one of those things that like you would think, oh yeah, we're gonna do something with like gaming, or we're gonna do something that like in his world. I want to take him outside of the world that he's we've ever seen of him in there. So I would do something totally in the outdoors, and I would honestly like, bro, if you could do something with like snowboarding or skiing, like in the winter, I think that would be really fun. I feel like he's one of those guys that like if you saw him and you like had just like a snowboard suit on, you'd be like, yo, that's a total snowboarder, dude. Just based off of like his looks, his hair, like style. He's like definitely got the tossle look. He's definitely like a chill bro. And it's like, all right, cool. Like, let's put him out in that world that is opposite of technology, like nothing technology. Or, this is really fun. A backpacking trip in the outdoors in the Pacific Northwest. I think that would be fun. Like, all right, cool. We're going to spend 4 days out here, 4 or 5 days. And it's like on the Pacific Crest Trail, which is like a beautiful like hiking trail that goes all the way up towards like the tip of the United States. Like we're going to do just a part of it, but 4 or 5 days, we're out in the wilderness. We have cameras. We can vlog stuff we want. We can do the podcast. We can talk, but we're literally in the middle of nowhere in the wilderness. Cause like that half of that trail is like unmarked besides just like a little like patch of grass or like dirt travel area, and that's it. Like there's no like, oh yeah, keep going this way, or like there's a ton of people. Like there's some places that you are the only person in that vicinity of like 50 miles. You're like, no one else out here. Is all animals. I think that would be a lot of fun to do like 4 or 5 days backpacking trip. Like not a camping trip, because camping trip is like you can have technology and stuff. Yeah, well I think you could do fun. Like, or you could do a weekend. You could do 3 days. 3 days.
I liked the first. I thought about when you like mentioned like pulling him out of gaming. Like I thought about camping, and I was like, he's like worth like $50 million. So there'd be so many like forms we'd have to like make and sign in order to get him out there.
But like also.
I like the idea of playing into like the dude bro that Ninja is. So like anything really like dude bro, like getting it like the snowboarding thing, like really funny, or going surfing. The ninja.
Yeah.
Like we've never surfed.
Yeah.
Ninja's probably surfed a little.
Yeah.
Like it
We'll
would
see
be
what happens.
really funny just to like all three of us with a surfing instructor. Like, you know, or like even the same for like a snowboarding instructor. Like
Yeah.
I've snowboarded. Have you snowboarded?
I've snowboarded twice.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
it would be like me, who's like more relatively experienced, and then you have you who's like falling, and then we don't know what ninja is. So for all we know, man's like pulling off 360s, like it's
Yeah,
freaking, like,
exactly.
like, dude.
I think
but-
that would show a great side of his brand too, of being like overall like a bigger creator rather than just like the gaming industry.
Yeah.
If he was able to like actually showcase that he was good at something else, so people were like, "Oh no way! Like I didn't know that he could do that." Or maybe he talked
Or he's
about
just
it.
really
but it was
good
like,
at being bad. That's something
True.
else.
True.
Because, dude, oh man, that would be funny.
Yeah.
That would be like, oh, legitimate. Like, yeah, bro, just like lean on your heels to stop, bro. What do you mean? What do you mean? I would literally be dead.
Bro, I think it'd be fun. I think it's just like anything with the outdoors, because it's like the total opposite of where I have to like set myself apart is like go outside somewhere that has like
Touch
no
grass.
technology. Yeah. It's usually like when I take my dog out to piss. It's like I don't want to touch that because that's like where every other dog's piss, because that's the only patch of grass in this whole like 30-yard proximity for people to literally walk outside their apartment and be like, "Yep, dog bathroom, cool." It's like the grass isn't even green now; it's just gray, yellow, and like dirt. Like it used to be green. You could tell before the apartment complex moved in, it was like luscious green grass, really pretty area right on the sidewalk. Now it's just like. It's like an apocalypse happened, dude. There's like McDonald's bags, some trash, and then just dirt and yellow grass.
Hey,
And you're
man,
like,
that's the hustle, bro.
Bro, it's like bad. It's like, yeah, we just walked straight out of the apocalypse right there. So, anyways, I think that'd be super cool for my guest. Ready?
I'm not. I'm really not, because you said double D, and I was not ready for that.
Kurinikov.
You just picked two Vlog Squad members.
Bro. There was no rule.
He said, let me look at
There
my
was no
like,
rule.
last like three.
It was
three
either
YouTube
it was
searches.
either Kurinikov or it was out of nowhere, because I really want to just do a talk with him, and I don't think you know anything about his world. Jordan Belfort.
Jordan Belfort. Oh, that'd be fun. Well,
Let's do if you want to do a halfsy, like you don't have to go in depth, but just be like, oh yeah, if we had like a one-off event for each of them, then like what would you do to like get there?
Well, Kurinikov, I feel like we could lean into her gaming side more rather than anything else.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, dude, she's already like making her bag, you know? Like we should do something like,
Do we do like an online gaming festival or something?
no, we should do like a
That was a
Dude.
horrible idea, clearly.
No, I'm thinking
you were like, nah, man.
I'm
that's
thinking
so
of
good.
like what would like
My bad.
Kurinikov is a freaking multimillionaire as of like 3 days ago. Like what?
That's like 3 days ago.
Like
Like
what?
recent. Oh.
What could we do to like get her to be a part of something? Is like interesting. Like, yeah, we could probably like hop on a game with her, go play some like GTA roleplay for a second, but it's like, no, like how are we integrating her into like the NOFOLD universe? I think it would just be hilarious on God to fly out to Las Vegas and fly Kurinikov out and just make the whole bit that we're just gambling away all her OnlyFans money.
Oh, dude, that would be so much fun.
It would be freaking hilarious.
Bro, like literally, we're like all on black, all on red. And it's like, wait, where's all this money come from? It's like the OnlyFans account.
Exactly. Like,
throwing
you're just
money.
like, yep, we made that back. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Everyone has their phones out and it's like, Corinne, are you going to post tonight? Okay, cool. We're good. Go another round.
Dude, it would be so freaking funny.
That's a good idea. That's really, really good. So
I mean, the only problem is I'm not 21, so I can't gamble. So we'd have
I'll
to
gamble for you.
Yeah. I'm just standing there with the camera. Just have a second cameraman just looking at me, just going,
Little
like,
did we
zooming in,
know.
just like,
Yeah.
don't leave the path, Zeke. Don't do it. Don't do it. Seattle's best coffee's right down there. Hey, Corinna just turns to me and it's just like, hey, can you go get a Shake Shack? I just walk off with the cameraman like, "F this, bro.
God, done.
I'm retired, bro."
No, that's good. I think that would be really funny. That's a pitch right there, dude. I think she'd be one of those people that'd be like, yo, like, what if we said like half of your money was gonna go donated? Like whatever we'd win, we would donate half of it to like a local charity.
I feel like I was also thinking about that too. Like I feel like we could just play on the fact that it's like we're gambling away her money. Like you could go up to people around the street and be like, flip a coin, heads or tails. If it's heads, you get 10 grand. If it's tails, I just walk away. Like, you know, like it's like Mr. Beast style.
Yeah.
But like the same bit can still be there. I'm just like, oh man, Corinna, you had to give $10,000 to that person. Just post a nude, you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Literally, the whole story is just like, oh yeah, you just post again tonight. You're gonna double up. Oh, okay, cool. Go Instagram Live and then do OnlyFans right after. You'll boost like
it's like what hotel are you in? Yeah, you'll be fine.
Bro, that would be so funny. Okay. I know I'm going to do a two-parter, so Jordan Belfort.
Jordan Belfort. I feel like we could just honestly just riff back and forth for like another 10 minutes about just different guests and how we get them on the show.
I think we should do it. Let's do it. I had like several other, but I was just like, those would be the ones that I'm like, I'm curious to just know, because I know what I would do, but I wanted to hear what you would do.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, that'd be fun.
I have a really good idea for Iraq, but I'm saving it for a YouTube video, so I'm not going to reveal it.
Okay, cool.
But Jordan Belfort, that's the Wolf of Wall Street guy, right? Leonardo DiCaprio played him.
Yes.
Did he write the book, Wolf of Wall Street?
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Jordan Belfort.
Jordan Belfort wrote, yes.
Got
yes. It's based off of his life. So that's why I said, you think Wolf of Wall Street, they're like, oh, Leonardo DiCaprio. It's like, no, he was the actor who played Jordan Belfort.
And just for the viewers at home, just for them, how did this guy make what's his story? Is he rags to riches? Is he riches to riches?
He's the original, he's the OG gangster, dude. He's the guy that like was Wall Street money, stupid, making buku bucks in matters of like hours to days to years to months, and then having it all taken away because he was doing very illegal stuff with like moving money across the market without people knowing that he was moving stuff. So it was like he was taking other people's money and like moving it around without asking them or like knowing exactly and then they were also like buying stuff that wasn't really worth that much that they were paying for it. So it was just like, oh yeah, you're gonna pay like $100 for these. Actually, no, they're gonna sell tomorrow for $500. So you're gonna give us $1,000. Reality is that like product was only like $200. Yeah. They would just keep it and they would just pay out the rest of the company. So he was doing a lot of that. He also did a lot of partying. He was like one of the OG people of like, yo, like when you made it, it's like you showcase it. It's like Floyd Money Mayweather, but times like 100. He would throw these random giant parties, super drugged up, super intoxicated, people always around, hookers, like there were like, that was the thing. That's what he did. You hear him on his podcast, he's very, very smart. He's very good at sales, which is why he built a company out of nowhere and just ran the market, because he took it and just, it was like a landslide because he was so good at like the power of persuasion, the power of like how to make a sales call. So he uses that now in his own podcast, and I think it's called The Lion's Den or something, or I think it's called The Lion's Den, but it's like his podcast he has now, and he has all these big other like entrepreneurial people on. It's actually really insightful. And then he does interviews with like YouTubers. Like he did an interview with like the Nelk Boys. He did an interview with like Logan Paul. And he talks about his stuff he did. Like go check out Logan Impulsive when Jordan Belfort's on it, dude. The stuff that he did is wild. That you're like, even Logan was like, I would be scared. Like, I wouldn't know what to do because that's just like a very crazy situation. He's like, yeah, like we did crazy, crazy shit. So that's a little background on him. How would you get him on a podcast like ours?
Like ours. So you said he
loves to talk.
He just like gives away crap. Or like not gives away crap, but like he'll just like throw money because he knows he'll make double tomorrow.
Yes, not as much anymore. Used to, yes.
Yeah.
Now he's more about like the business mind. He's got a family. He's got kids. But like at that time,
the last thing I saw him do is promote an altcoin. So I mean, in my mind, oh my goodness. But
yeah,
I feel from like what you say and the fact of like the guy was smart enough that Leonardo DiCaprio played him. You know, like they made a movie about him. I feel
really good.
I feel like we would have to do something with him that's so dumb. He sees the value in it. Like I feel like we couldn't just like hop on and talk about like, yeah, we are on Patreon now. We make $5. Like I feel like we would have to like do like something like not necessarily super out of the box and put him like crazy out of his comfort zone, but like I don't know, like
bro, what if he took us down like Wall Street? It was like he tries to make us into brokers.
You know what would be funny?
Like,
you know, hear me out. This is what we do on Wall Street.
I've never worn a suit, by the way, like a full suit.
Neither have I. I haven't made a custom tailored suit or anything. But I think
ain't got no money for that.
Yeah, I think what we should do or would do is we go and we find a bunch of animals. I'm talking monkeys, pigs, chickens, ostriches.
Where are you going at with this?
Like maybe an anaconda for fun. And Jordan Belfort is there with us. And we just sit there for like 12 hours and see which animal makes the most money on Wall Street.
Oh my God.
Could you imagine the commentary? Like he would get so attached to like the ostrich or something, bro. It'd be so funny.
I literally was like, where are you going out with this? I don't know where he's going. But that actually is pretty funny. I think you would have a lot of fun commentating like animals. And like he's really good at talking. So I could see that actually working really well where he's like, these guys, these jokers, there's no way. And we're like, yo, I think we're going to perform you here right now with these animals. And he's like, bet.
I defeated Jordan Belfort with a zoo.
Yeah. Like it's going to be wild. So like I think you could do that. I also I was thinking like if he could teach us how to do the stuff that he did so well. But
just imagine him teaching it to an ostrich.
Exactly.
Dude,
so it's like
so funny.
We're here and it's like, all right, cool. Now break it down so that like this like not even an animal, but like this kid could do it. And he's like, no, it's not possible. And it's like, well,
this kid has to do it.
Yeah, this kid has to do it. Like that's the future right there. And you're like, no. And he's like, yeah, and you have to teach it to him. I think it'd be so like he would catch himself so many times, like start to go down a rabbit hole, and we're like, no, slow down. They would have like a little beeper, like beep, beep.
Yeah, it's just like he teaches a monkey to gamble by like putting like treats on one side or the other of like a stock. Sell, buy.
Yeah.
He's like, hold. Go get the cashews. Go. Nope, he's selling. Frick. Well, we ran out of our pot, guys. We're fricked.
That's the win right there. Doing like a monkey or some kind of animal to be able to like put on cards, like little laminated cards, buy, sell, hold, and then like the day trade. Like you imagine the NASDAQ open up and you're like they have all these other shows and stuff of like the ticker and the closing bell and everything. And it's like tunes into our podcast and it's like, here, Jordan Belfort, we're going to talk about the stocks today and we're going to project it based off of this monkey and wherever he puts these peanuts on these cards.
Which animal day trades the best featuring Jordan Belfort?
Bro,
that would be a pretty iconic video.
That would be fun. I think you wouldn't know, you couldn't expect anything. You wouldn't know what would happen.
Just be sitting there just going, what?
Yeah, and just seeing if he can actually pull it off. Like if he's that good at what he does of like teaching people how to like anyone can call, anyone can like make a sell. Okay, cool. Teach it to this animal, see if they can do it. Like just enough with like laminated cards. Like that would be super, super funny. So that's a good one. I like that. Do you have any others? What do you think?
Guests.
Guys, also, it's really hot. Like stupid hot this week. So if we're sweating a little bit, it's because I don't have AC and there's no air movement in this room. So like we're breathing in our own oxygen right now.
Bro, it's NOFOLD, bro. They're not supposed to know that. We're not sweating. Thanks for asking.
I'm sweating. Like if they could see it over here, bro, like I'm like over here, like I almost need a towel. I'm like, But there will be a day where we have our own set There won't be no towels. Like people will be giving us towels.
They'll be fanning us.
Here you go. Here you go. Do you need this? Oh, you need a refresher? You need a beverage? You need another round?
You need this branded sponsorship beverage?
You need this Happy Dad? Yes, I do.
Okay, for my final guess, since you had 3, I might as well throw out a third.
Just throw out third.
One. Okay, this is a good one. It'll be a little bit more chill to kind of finish out the podcast.
Okay.
I want to see.
It's not gonna go no chill.
I want to see what you would do. This was like my second out of the box kind of one.
Okay.
I want to see what you do to get Noel Miller to come on to our podcast. Do you know who that is?
No.
Do you know who Cody Ko is?
Some.
You know some of who Cody Ko is?
Sounds like it's a bad thing.
What? There he goes, looking at his phone.
No.
Wait, you know what Tiny Meat Gang is, right?
Yeah.
Noel Miller's half of Tiny Meat Gang.
Oh, I didn't know that's what his name was. I just knew him by Tiny Meat Gang because I just watched it. I just watched
Cody Ko and Tiny Meat Gang.
Well, I don't.
Here,
like,
you don't need your phone. I can explain him.
Okay. I want to know a little backstory. That's why I can be like, oh, okay.
Oh, like
cool.
why I picked him or who he is?
No, of who he is.
Well, as far as the story goes, Cody Ko is like on his rise or whatever, and then he went to go work at Full Screen where he met Noel Miller, who was an engineer. His label was an engineer, but he was technically just like a cheap marketing hire. I think that's what it was. So they like had him in marketing. And he did like a lot of marketing there, but then once like him and Cody like blew up and did like Tiny Meat Gang and stuff, he transitioned over into stand-up, Twitch streaming, stand-up.
Okay.
And he also is a video director. So that was kind of like the tie between the two of you. Is like he has directed, I think, 3 of Tiny Meat Gang's music videos.
Oh, okay.
And he just
That's
also
super
like
dope.
has directed he directs like all his like short films. He directed other people's like short films and stuff.
Interesting.
So yeah,
That's super cool.
and he's really funny.
Yeah, no, clearly I listen to the podcast and it's hilarious, the stuff they say. So, let's see, how would I get him on the podcast? It wouldn't be anything with marketing. It wouldn't be anything with gaming or anything with technology. It would definitely be.
Oh, to explain a little bit more about his brand to help you, he also does a show. I don't remember exactly what it's called.
Okay.
But it's where he'll get on. It's essentially a motorized desk. So there's 2 chairs that are like race car chairs and a desk, and he'll drive in a circle and interview someone for 20 minutes. And he's been doing that show since I think the start of like 2021 or mid 2020.
So good.
It's
I did
so
not. Is it on
funny.
YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check it out. That's so funny.
But like that's kind of like his like brand is like kind of like comedic, but also like he raps. He also like does like a bunch of other stuff.
A plethora of everything.
Yeah, he's kind of like all over the place.
I would. This has just hit me out of nowhere. If he could run a food truck for a day, I think that'd be really fun, because it sounds like he's got one of those things that is very skilled at like the art of talking and the art of conversation and stuff, but you have to do it in a place that you wouldn't expect. Like I was thinking one, either at a festival, but like with COVID, it's like near impossible. Like anything's going to happen. So I would do like, if we could rent a food truck for a day and like serve that food truck's food, like whatever
that
we
food
pick.
truck's food, or
Yeah.
do like a fully branded Noel Miller food truck?
You could, but that'd be a lot of work.
Would it be?
It would be cool. So either way. One, if we didn't have the budget, which we do, don't think we don't have budget. We got bands. I got a bag sitting behind me right now just because. So
True. Straight green right behind me, bro.
Yeah, dude. Like we got stuff in fish tanks because like we never know when the
Offshore.
Like, yeah, bro. Offshore to the max, right there. But I think it would be really cool to like do a food truck, have his line of food in there. What would he choose? And so we'd like customize, be like, what are you feeling? You're like, burgers. Okay, cool. We'd be like a burger truck. And it's like, nah, I want to do sushi. Like, if any place you could do this, it's Portland. Like, you can make a food truck out of anything. So I'm like, yo, dude, like, you have a day and you have to sell like so much. Like, you have to make like maybe we set the price meter to like $10, $10 a plate, and you got to make like $1,000. What are you going to do it with? And you have this like limited supply. What are you going to make? And you're like, oh, I'm going to do like Mexican food, or I'm going to do Italian, or do. I think that'd be so much fun. And then conversations the whole day happening about different things of his life and how he got to where he's at would be so intriguing for people. I feel like they would watch for hours, because we're constantly doing stuff, engaging the public, making food, making hopefully cool food and good food. And at the same time, we're all in that truck. We have nowhere else to go. It's like, yo, it's this truck and we're making this money and we're going to do it. Like, that's the kind of crazy that I think it would work really well with him. Because it's still like, it's not like,
it's like chill. So
yeah.
It still fits in with his brand
Exactly.
of just kind of like vibing.
It's not like we're going to go like
people.
skydiving or something crazy that's like, okay, cool. And then we're going to talk about it afterwards, or like talk while we're in the plane. Like, no, that's
like,
not
hey, come
his
serve
thing.
food you like with us.
Yeah. Be like, yo, you got jokes, you do stand up. Okay, cool. Like, let's hear some stuff while we're in the truck. Like, I think that'd be super funny while we're making tacos. Like, that would be so much fun. So I think that would be my challenge to like throw out to him, would be, yo, come start a food truck with us for a day.
Hey, didn't know your name wasn't Tiny Meat Gang, but now come on a food truck with us.
That's not like the best way to start it. Be like, yo, my bad. Like, I'm bad with names, dude. I didn't even know your name for a while when we first started working together.
I didn't know.
I was just like, yeah, curly head kid that like had a cool camera and like kind of seemed like he knew what he was doing. So I'm like, oh, he seems cool.
Ah, that's him.
Yeah. I'm like, oh yeah, that guy.
But Matt, on the topic, since we're coming to a close here on this podcast.
Okay.
I remember we did give ourselves a challenge back and forth, and it was for me to find the first guest, but it was for you to direct the first
show.
The first NOFOLD hits the town. Yeah. So,
do you want me to tell this here?
You got any ideas?
Oh, I got ideas,
bro. We just gave you. Bro, I just gave you. You just gave yourself 3, and I gave you 3.
Yeah, but it all depends on the guests. Once you get the guests, then I'll be like, yo, like, this is what we're doing. Dude, I got this. This is like a fortress up here. Every day, this thing's just like money, money. Done. Thank you so much for tuning in this week to the NOFOLD podcast. We got many more awesome episodes coming for you guys every week. We're filming them on Tuesdays, but we're trying to get them uploaded on what, like,
we get
Fridays?
them out every Friday.
Every Friday.
We don't miss, except every for the second episode. But outside of that, we don't miss.
Yeah, exactly. Because we ain't folding.
So
we're going big.
And just so you know,
every
Matt,
week.
It's Tuesday, June 22nd, and we've got to get out a NOFOLD special episode by the end of June. So we'll catch you guys next week when hopefully we film that.
Something.
Bye, guys.
Adios.